Hello, how are you? Wow, it is a beautiful day, March 31st. So tomorrow, Neptune moves into Aries and things are going to switch up. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Man, it's been a challenging few months or years. What do you think? As I was sitting and doing my practice today with my cards, my oracle cards, I decided to ask what would be a really good message for the collective today as we are, moving from this busy emotional filled time, and now we're moving into this new phase. Apparently, we're going to see a lot of changes, even more changes than we've already seen, and we're expecting that. We all know, everybody on the planet knows that we are in for some big shifts. We can just feel it. Can you feel it? I can definitely feel it. And I'm talking to different people and they're feeling it as well. And it brings up maybe some old issues, or they're, trying to figure out, navigate where they're going now. So I want to show you what I received. The very first card is a beautiful card. It's from my Jesus deck, and it says, "Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for things of itself." Be in the present moment, people. That's what that's all about. You know what? We spend a lot of time thinking about the past, how things went, if they went different, what about this, what about that? And then we think about the future. Oh my gosh, what if this happens? What if that happens? And we get it all muddled up, and we think about all the people around. We don't even focus on ourselves, and we don't focus on the moment. This moment in time, right now, is when you have personal power. You don't have power tomorrow. You don't have power. I mean, we can make plans and all that kind of stuff, but we have power in this moment. And we do have a tendency of not staying present. So this is key. Right now, key. We have to stay in the moment. And sometimes that means addressing what's going on. Instead of saying, I feel a little bit of anxiousness, but I'm just going to file that over there and I'll think about it later. I'm just going to not worry about that. I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to imagine my cup is half full. No, we actually need to address the issues that are going on within ourselves. Honesty. Be honest with yourself. Take time to be honest with yourself. What does it say? I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. For example, I don't know, it must have been a month, 6 weeks ago, my foot started to hurt me, my left foot. I'm like, what's this all about? I've been having a few different issues come up, and I'm doing a lot of meditation. I'm releasing and letting go. I did some Psych-K, some self-hypnosis. I've been really busy trying to release and let go, because I know that I'm on a journey, and it's like peeling the onion. No matter where I am on the journey, there's another hill to climb, another log to climb over. There's something more to do, another river to go through, right? We're never really there. If we're there, we're on our deathbed. So I'm not there. I'm a long ways away from there. So there's still things for me to deal with. So I had this problem with my foot. For example, it was bothering me on the side of my foot. When I looked at the reflexology chart, it's like, this is your knees and your hip. Okay, I have had an injury to my knees and my hip over the past few years. I do a lot of falling. So, Jesus is always tripping me up, saying, hey, stop, slow down, pay attention. So I'm like, okay, that is to do with that. So I did some meditation. It carried on. I had to clear a bunch of stuff. But in the end, I was able to get to the root of it. And how do I know I got to the root? Because immediately it started to get better. I wasn't able to go barefoot. I'm usually barefoot. I wasn't able to go barefoot. It hurt so much I couldn't really walk without a spongy shoe. Now I come off barefoot again. So I know I finally released that thing. So be honest with yourself. What is really going on? If you're feeling angst, if you're feeling sadness, if you're whatever it is, do your heart meditation. Get in touch with your heart. Really go deep and have a conversation. What is going on? What is the root cause of this feeling, this physical or emotional feeling? And how can I resolve that? If you need help, I can help you with that, but you can do it yourself. So from here, I got the card compassion. Of course. Be compassionate with yourself. Maybe you should have done it differently. Maybe you had choices and you made the wrong choice in your opinion. But compassion is about being compassionate for yourself and for others, and taking time to possibly even forgive yourself. Sometimes we hold on to things for a very, very long time, even childhood things. We hold on to it for a very long time. And then when we finally let that go, and we're like, wow, I should have let that go 100 years ago. Well, it's okay you didn't. But forgive yourself for holding on to it. You needed to hold on to it for a reason. Your subconscious mind wasn't ready to let go. The subconscious mind is 95% of your mind. The analytical part, the conscious part, is only 5% of your mind. That willpower part is only 5% of your mind. So when you think about it, the subconscious mind's job is to protect you, to make sure you're safe and secure. So this is why it's a little extra to really deal with your stuff, because you're having to converse with the subconscious mind. You're having to go deep, and for some people that's kind of scary. But the uncomfortable part of it is short. It may be only 10 minutes to free yourself from that anxiety, that sadness, that anger, frustration. This is what was going on with my foot, deep frustration. And it rooted in the bladder because I held all of that stuff in the bladder. Frustration and anger, mostly to do with my past relationship that I'm no longer in. I needed to let that go. I thought I had been letting it go, but there was a little bit more. There's always a little bit more. We're never there. So from compassion, then we have a chance to decide to be happy now. Choose to be happy now. Not tomorrow, not next year when, something happens that you can allow yourself to be happy. Be happy now, because you're in the moment of now. Tomorrow is a gift. We don't know we're even going to be here tomorrow. So choose to be happy now. Let me read this to you. It says, thank you for helping me open my heart to happiness, joy, and bliss. I am now willing to see all of the goodness of life. I think also, just to recap what I mentioned yesterday, I think that we have a tendency, humans, to want to be in everybody else's business, or to think that we know better, or to want to direct the show and be in control. I think when we realize that we are not in control, there's something else going on here big time. And we may be surprised at the outcome. You probably watched a movie and you're like, oh dear, you're watching it as it's unfolding, the climax and and then it ends up with an ending that you're like, oh yeah, that all had to happen in order for this to happen, and it was a good ending. Or in your own life, you've had things that happened that you're just like, oh, wish that didn't go that way. But then later, 2 or 3 years later, maybe even, you look back on it and you're like, wow, that had to happen in order for me to grow, to expand, to be here in this moment right now. My life would not have changed. I would have been still doing that same old thing on the treadmill, round and around and around we go, if I hadn't accepted this opportunity or done this thing or, climbed over that hill. Took a page, took an avenue that I didn't know. Sometimes it's scary going down some place or we're not really sure what the outcome's going to be like. I think I kind of thrive on that. I seem to do that a lot. Let's go this way. Never tried this before. Some people don't like to do it that way. I seem to thrive on it. And so that's where polarity comes in, right? There's an opposite of everything that's going on. So even though in the sadness, think about when you finally resolve that, how happy you will feel. Or if you can let go of your frustration, how that feels. I think in life we need to try to ride the wave, you know, avoid the high and avoid the low. But if we can actually kind of go along the middle, we have much better control over our lives. Yeah, so the law of the internet, or the universal law of polarity, has a lot to do with balance. And we can catch ourselves in that when we find ourselves in habitual bad thoughts, you know, and switch them up. So instead of I never have enough, I always have enough. You know, this never works out, things always work out. You know, and switching those up and really catching yourself before you verbalize or think the thoughts. It's about getting a grasp on the mind, that really being in control of your thoughts is a huge part of navigating life in a positive way and keeping yourselves in a high vibration. Because remember, when we're low vibration, that's where we have imbalances, that's where we don't feel good, and we share that with our family and our communities and our world. We want to raise our vibrations. So by keeping your self-talk is a key component in that. You know, and if you catch yourself, you're like, oh man, this always happens to me, I never can get it right. Cancel. I breathe and I always get things right. It always works out, right? And cancel. Something we used to do years ago. We can start doing that again. And by doing all of that, we pick up the card of creation, right? We plant the seed, we nourish the seed, and we create the life that we are living. If we don't like it, we better plant some new seeds, and nourish them, water them, take care of them. This whole reading is really appropriate, I think, for this time and how I'm feeling too. I sometimes have to catch myself. Sometimes you wake up. The other day we woke up, we went out to use the car, and it had a flat tire. And that caused a variety of things, words, and holy crap, what are we gonna do now? And you know, we resolved the problem and got everybody to, school in time. We had to do it differently. We had to do it differently. We had to step outside the box. We got the clients to the bus to leave the town on time. Everything worked out. But for a moment, it was like, oh, cancel, didn't mean that. Oh, yeah. I think all of this has to do with energy. This seems to be a good theme, energy. Let's raise our energy. Let's keep things going. So it says life force, I can't see a darn thing. It's a beautiful card. Life force is flowing. Open yourself to receive the power from within. Wow. Life force is flowing. It's not stuck. Open yourself to receive the power from within. Isn't that beautiful? Have a look at this card. That is a beautiful card. So that's a collective reading. I wonder if it resonates with you. I will take a picture of these cards and post it with this video. Have an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day. Check your thoughts. Keep the energy flowing. Stay high vibe. Take care.